And that should be good. At least I think. Alright, cool. Alright, we're covering OFCRA again today. Every Thursday we cover a 90-minute PvP match. This is going to be a continuation of a mission that we saw 2 weeks ago, which was the US invasion of Greenland. It started with a northern-based attack. The US could have gone into either this AO down here or this one up here. They were able to actually successfully push in and just barely, with only a handful of manpower at the end, push the Danish forces back. So, Danish forces are going to be defending the AO. German forces are also entering. That's the Blue Force side. Op Force still the United States. We'll see if they shift over to Army. Nope, actually, I'm looking at the document now. It's still United States Marine Corps, which is fair because this is a naval invasion. All right. Background: Greenland Operation Greenland 2020-25. I'm sorry, I'm so excited for this. You can follow along with the mission command, by the way. I believe I did link the operation in there. But, again, this is... OFCRA is a European community, so they're just memeing what they see in the United States right now. But here's what they wrote up for this. Operation Suppressed America seemed a harder task than was originally intended. On the short sail over... over 2/6 Marines received briefs that the Danish military was uncoordinated, underfunded, and lacked the spirit needed to hold against the superior American force of will. This was not the enemy that was encountered. While victory was secured, there was a cost. Green pilots crashed the Venom into the USS Doge landing ship. That did happen last stop. They literally, like, crashed their helicopter in the damn thing. The landing at the first dock was counterattacked and retaken by the Danes, and all landing AAVPs were targeted and destroyed. These losses are embarrassing, but a victory is a victory. Now, with the dock secure, the more daunting task of pushing south must be undertaken. With more Euro reinforcements reportedly already landing, and that's going to be the German forces here, the advance south will be far from an easy task. Good luck. Alright, not all the information is documented here. This is the general information here, so it's up to each side to do reconnaissance. The United States Marine Corps now start on land, but have forces who can still make use of the sea with SOG boats or the AAVPs. The Danes and Germans use multicam, have short sleeves, and have the same camo rather than the USMC, who all have standard Marpat and black face coverings. Both sides have very similar 5.56 service rifles with the same ammo. For Blue 4, the Sagels platoon and side lead spawn with New Velt at the Holstebro platoon. This is the Blue 4 guys. Will spawn further south of them, and the Muttons and the German, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that word, it begins with an E, platoon spawns all the way at the southern airport. The USMC side lead has a choice of either attacking New Velt or Bunderdorf. They will choose before the mission, but the choice will only come known at the 50-minute mark. So basically one of these two objectives. Otherwise, going over the zone here, whoever controls this purple zone at the end of the game will gain 4 points. Whoever controls either Bubendorf or New Velt by the 60-minute mark will gain 3 points. Blue 4 decides which one to attack. Op 4 decides which one to attack, because Op 4 is the United States Marine Corps. Blue 4 has to defend both until they figure out which one is actually under threat. And then keep your side leader alive by the 45-minute mark. That gains you 2 points. All AT mines remain intact at 45 minutes, or all AT mines removed at the 45-minute mark. I don't know if we're talking about this. I think the minefield's right here, so... For an added bonus objective, if Blue 4 can fully remove this minefield by the 45-minute mark, they gain 2 points. If Op 4 can keep every single mine intact by the 45-minute mark, they gain 2 points. So it's unlikely that Op 4 is going to gain, though, or... Okay, I'm just misreading it. So Blue 4 has to defend this minefield by the 45-minute mark. If a single mine gets removed, they don't get those 2 bonus points. But if all of the mines are removed, then Op 4 gets the 2 bonus points. It's been a while since I've seen a mine-related objective. I think the last time they did it, though, like the mines... God, that was months ago, if I recall correctly. It was a little unbalanced because the minefields were massive, and I think the defenders just had the advantage of being able to ambush their opponent going along the minefields. That was back on one of the forested maps that were like Swedish or Norwegian based, but that's an older OFCRA mission. But I'm glad to see that they're bringing back, you know, minefields as an objective here. So we'll see how things go. Name of the map is NAPF space A3 space winter. I don't think it specifies the way the mines can be removed. So in theory, yeah, OPFOR could just run them over, but you don't really want to see that, man. Because then you're going to lose vehicles. Anyway, let me give you a little tab out here of how many people are on. We've got about 135 people on right now. They'll be pushing into the mission in, I believe, a minute or two, but we'll just wait and see. But yeah, we've got one spawn down here, and then the German forces are going to be spawning down there, and that was the really long word that I had no idea how to pronounce. And then Blue 4, we've got two groups spawning here, a recon group, and then the main group over here. I really wish they didn't use white text on the white background. That makes it really hard to read. But it looks like, at least I was told they had access to some boats going around. And we have a landing ship out here based off of that rectangle. Again, the last time this mission ran, OPFOR barely won. Because Blue 4 put their defensive lines out like a little too thin, but it was a very Pyrrhic victory for the attackers. They did lose all of their vehicles a bit prematurely, and then their helicopter, they crashed on one of their landing ships. I mean, it was a bit messy, so maybe we'll see a different set of people on the vehicle side, but we'll see how things go. Anyway, Ted BZ, thanks for the Tier 1 sub, my friend. I hope you keep enjoying the operations. I do hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Ooh, I'm sorry to hear that, broski. I'm going to be honest, I have two sets of surge protectors on. Actually, no, I think one of them got fried. I only have one. Just to protect my computer, because there's such a massive amount of footage on my drives. And every time I edit a good chunk of it, it's quickly filled back up after another week. Because then I got to focus on other tasks. But my morning today was spent optimizing tonight's POG file and then organizing a bunch of operations and scheduling releases, talking with my server guy for putting some mod sets up for Star Wars and World War II. Valkyrie got me the basis for a Star Wars op done, so I got to get Valk tasked with something new, and then maybe after POG tonight, I can spend some time doing some more late-night mission dev, because I need to at this point. Yeah, it's never bad to have a cloud backup of important files. I wish you luck with that, Az. But yeah, last night we did spend nearly 2 hours developing a Vietnam mission. I'm hoping to get that run. I was thinking either this coming Saturday or next Saturday, but Mac has told me he wants to run something, so I'm putting him on that the close Saturday slot, and then I'll shoot for the further one back. And now it's just getting the rest of the mission files ready for this coming week. Oh, so busy, so busy, so busy. I did get my hydrophonic system set up again, though. That's running back upstairs. That was retired for like 9 months because I got super busy and couldn't even maintain it. So I'm just trying to reorganize my life so I can make sure that doesn't happen again. But life's life, you know? Star Wars, but no Stargate? I know Stargate's on the back burner right now. People are just burned out from it, and I want to bring it back, but first I want to do a few other things, but we'll hopefully see it return by mid-March, maybe? Because I still owe 2 ops. Life is a constant juggle, Colonel. At least for someone in my shoes. No! I know. What a world. Overall, I'm waiting to see us push in so I can quickly go over assets so we can get more bets in. We've already been streaming for about 10 minutes with that prediction up for 20. That's how I know how long we've been going, but hopefully they'll push us in soon. We are a little late. Normally they try to push everything in by 3:30. It's 3:41 right now, so I think they're just organizing, Usually when this happens, it's because there's an influx of people that jumped in. So, especially with Op4 being able to decide which AO to hit, and then Blue 4 having to figure out how to do defenses on this AO. Oh, it's a bit difficult, this one, because Blue 4, we've got multiple routes. They can take 2 MSRs to directly go into the AO, or they can go all the way around. With these 2 targets and being the choices, if if Op 4 wants to attack this one, they're going to be doing it by boat. That's the only advantage they have to get into an AO like this, whereas if they want to attack Veltir, they've got plenty of land groups to go for it, though there is this big open area that they will have to cross to get to there. And then the final zone, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, just on a tactical perspective, the only way, I feel like it's better to attack Veltir because then you have more of a straight shot to the final objective, but the enemies are going to be immediately on defense for that. And if the rosters stay similar and we have a really, really close fight, it might be more advantageous for Blue 4 to instead go for the coastal town. That way they don't have to rely on the end of the game to win all those points, so c'est la vie. Let's go ahead and look over all of our operational forces here. So, Blue 4 USMC Recon Group, we've got some MRZRs in play. And is that a single transport truck? What? Oh, and they have a SOCOM boat. Okay. That's a really shitty position to have it, though, because it's going to have to go all the way around. So, And you don't really want... I mean, how wavy is the water? It's relatively flat, actually, so it's going to be more stable to use stuff like the GMG on that thing. But shooting from boats is very unreliable because of how wavy the water is. It's going to make sure that you're not going to be accurate at all. All right, but we got some AT on these guys. They've got some cars, so they can be some fast-moving attack groups for hitting armor. That's how I would best utilize those guys. Regardless, for the main USMC group, we literally just have transport trucks. Oh, no. Okay, hold on. So we got some more AAVPs. We have a docked landing ship. So 2 AAVPs with that scoped 50 cal, with those GMGs. I mean, again, those are really, really good vehicles, but are they going to be effective? Because last week, they certainly, or not last week, 2 weeks ago, when the first mission of this campaign was run, they certainly weren't. We've got some Mozes in play, some remote designators. Remote designators are better on defense, though, because it allows you to just overwatch certain areas, so not a lot going on for Op4 in terms of their attack power here. Blue 4 get even less. The Danish forces are literally just walking infantry and New Veld, so they're already in one of the possible objectives, so I guess they'll just either move up to the minefield or hold defensively there. We have the other group over here. They've got some RHIBs to transport out. That's not a bad idea, just having them coast out like that. But beyond that, they are also on foot, so they're going to have to use the boats to actually push up and pick dismount points. That's a little interesting. And then the German forces have to have some vehicles, right? Interesting. So we've only got some armored cars here. And a transport truck with an MG3 on it, but no... Oh, baby. They've got the freaking tankette with the freaking Milan or tow launcher. Okay. So that's going to be their solution for the AAVPs. I'm surprised. Does Op4 not have any helicopters? And they only have 1 SOCOM boat, but 2 AAVPs? I mean, that is... Huh. Wow. That... I think that's it.
Send in Goat Team 6 now.
Oh boy, do we love the weasel. The most weird thing you ever did see.
Freaking Malin. Give me 1 second, broski. I'm trying to see if there's, like, anything else that Op4 has here. Because this is very bare bones. Oh, yeah. They get 2 water skis. It's okay. Guys, hold the phone. We missed the water skis. Oh, silly me. Hold on, I'm also fixing a slight issue with a mic peaking there. Alright. Now we should be good, at least I think. Mic check. Mic check. Still a little heavy. Here. Hold on. Sorry, I just noticed the symbolism on my microphone was showing some peaks, so I was getting a little reverberated at the end. Yeah, that's really weird. There's literally, like... I'm waiting to, like, look around and see if I can find something, but no. So I guess the MRZRs are going to be going around trying to find the Weasel with that tow launcher on it. And then we've got the 2 AAVPs for just general infantry support. And then Blue 4 just has the tow Weasel to focus on the AAVPs, but there's nothing to really counter the boats. I'm surprised. We're not even seeing any, like, statics in play. That is interesting. Alright. I'm gonna turn this dial up so I readjust my thing right there, and then let me turn up this. Alright, I should sound louder now. At least I hope I do, but we'll go from there. I'm just trying to make sure nothing's peaking in any area so it doesn't sound like I'm blowing out anything. Yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing that concerns me is... I get no, because it's just forcing OPFOR to focus on some very small amounts of assets, but there's a massive AO here, so it's unlike Blue 4 is going to be able to go out and actually set a balance to anything. So we'll just have to see how that goes. I'm sure things will be fine, but I mean, it's very... I'm surprised this op is very asset light. I mean, it is going to focus more on the infantry, of course, but, you know, it's just quite strange. All right, we got our minefield right here, though, so I'm trying to see where these AT mines are. I don't see them. Nope, it's because I'm blind. All right, so they're just on the road. Yeah. There's probably like 5 to 10 in that entire area, so... Blue 4... How does Blue 4 defend this AO? Gonna be honest with you, there isn't really a lot of ways Blue 4 can defend this one. There's just... It's a big open area. There's some hilltops, sure, but there's some neighboring hilltops the AAVPs can park around the side. They can go in the village, but... I mean, that doesn't give them direct Overwatch control, but at the same time, Blue 4 is going to have to dismount people, or OPFOR is going to have to dismount people to disarm the minefield. But I guess that also means OPFOR is going to have to, like, totally control the area, and then from there they can springboard to either objective. And it looks like I was right, though. The Blue 4 group here is just going to run out and try to get over there. But here, let me do a quick check on the player base. So we got Zixmi on OPFOR, Depso's leading OPFOR. Who's leading Blue 4? Lolo Masano. All right. So some heavy hitters we normally see in OFCRA. But let me see. We've got NR guys. We've got, you know, Horno, Miguel's group, Wayne, Sancho Perfon's all on Blue 4, Phobos, Winter, 7th guys. RL over there with Blue 4 as well. Neves from the 23rd. Sommers group, Rigel, PHK, Mr. Cool, Nubass, Ivnomain, all those guys. Oh, they have a sniper platoon. See, this is why going through the rosters is sometimes a good idea. Because it helps me spot all of this. So, they do have an AT group. They have a sniper group. I think that's a 338. Maybe a 408. Nah, 338 at most. And we've got the vehicle crew for the Weasel, and then a single guy over on one of the boats. Meanwhile, for OPFOR as the side leader, mission just began. Some groups loading up in the AAVPs here, so like Pogo and Kevin, NASA and Wombat also on OPFOR. He's pointed out Zixmi's group, Cali, Nemesis, all under OPFOR as well. Audrey Septifois, that group is also under OPFOR. Manco, so the NASA guys are also under OPFOR in one of the trucks. Wiki Quartz, Max Sick, Marity, his group, their group also. Lolo and Sam are all on the boat. Twig King's group taking one of the recon vehicles, which looks like they already slightly damaged based off of the paint. And then we got Curie and Alexander also moving in. Nicholas, Toxic, those guys as well. These guys I don't recognize. Actually, no, Vincenzo I recognize, Heartseer I recognize, and then Killer J and Watts also as a recon group, so... I didn't see any suppressors this time around, though. So now we'll just have to see how things deploy. We do see one of the SOCOM boats get taken, but otherwise... We have a group of infantry coming up here. Maybe that means the SOCOM boat's coming to pick them up. That's the only thing I can really think of here. But, like, how much... Trying to get an angle of where I can see more of the seats, but... Oh, no, there's a back row open there, so they might have, like, 5 or 6 people still in. How many are in that group? Yeah, okay, maybe... maybe it'll be just enough. Maybe they mathematically calculated it to make sure that they had enough, because hopefully they use communication on radios. But otherwise, we have all these trucks going out. Blue 4, I don't see any attempt to move up to the minefield. I'm going to be honest, I don't see a way they could do it without these infantry just outright running up to it, but it looks like they're going to run to the other position first. So OP4 might be able to get immediately on the minefield and start getting to work on it. And then maybe Blue 4 can counterattack that position, but it's weird. But anyway, Malin, thanks for the 78-month resub. Borowski, hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you do get a nice kick out of this scenario. Where's Iander? He's not here today. I'm so sorry. But I guess he's too drunk to join us on this wonderful afternoon. I don't know about strong or weak positions in this one, because if we just look on the map, we see that there's big open fields here. And then, you know, this one, we also have big open fields, but they'll be defending against the water. With buildings like these, it's just a matter of picking a few good ones to try to do Overwatch, but when you don't have any heavy vehicles to help you with that defense to lock these open areas down, or even like 50 cal statics or whatnot, it becomes a little more difficult to set up proper defenses. Your best bet, again, is to just pick a few of these buildings. Now, these are some of the shoot house buildings, though, so they do have some good openings, but... OP4 can counter that with those AAVPs. Use that range. I just hope they learned their lesson on, you know, utilizing those properly. But it looks like Blue 4 is going to be sending everything up. What concerns me as well is we just had a massive group of infantry go out to this position, and these guys are going out to that position. So that means these guys have to be coming up to cover that other AO, and they have to be leaving some sort of small vanguard for the purple zone to make sure OP4 just doesn't decide to, you know, hold that till the end of the game for whatever silly reason. Because OP4's plan could be hit the minefield, pull back, and then put everything in the purple zone. And then, you know, bait Blue 4 to go up here as this objective, but I don't know, anything's possible with OFCRA strategy. We do see the MRZRs. They've gotten some really good distance from the recon point. They're now trying to maneuver over in the back line here. They might be able to catch some stuff. What also concerns me, I guess they had to have not RC, but they had to have practiced driving the Weasel out and computed that it couldn't climb this hill more quickly than just driving around there. So that's going to really slow it down, really open it up to the MRZRs ambushing, but at the same time, some of the MRZRs seem to be getting out early. I guess they're concerned that Blue 4 might rush up here to get this area, but if they measured from the actual AO where those cars are, maybe they think these guys have cars here. They might think they're in danger. Sometimes some of the commanders will take vehicles from the AOs and actually measure how long it takes for them to get out from certain areas and base their plan off of that. And that might have been done in Depso's on Depso's side, because he's having some teams dismount early, or he's just, you know, giving them arbitrary points to hold. But we do have some Blue 4 groups starting to come along the hilltop here, so we've got 2 groups within 2 kilometers of each other. They might run into each other there, but from here we got one group already heading over to Veltier, and then the other one is potentially going to use the other AAVP to sweep the minefield. So here's what I think OP4's plan is, just by looking at this. Boom, 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 and then these guys are going to be some sort of blocking force. They beached the boat. I swear to God. Yeah, and I think it's a little too big to push. Yeah. It's almost as bad as when the pilot crashed into the ship in the first op. OFCRA making some more very silly mistakes. This one's going to be more costly, though, because this is taking at least 2 to 3 squads of manpower. And putting them aside. Oh, God, they pushed it. I guess the Zeus took pity on him. Ah, that's funny. I agree, Malin, but I am simply a commentator here. We have some blue 4 going all the way around. I'm gonna be honest. I'll see what they do. I think that's a bit of a waste, but I mean, OFCRA is known for pulling crazy plays like that, so not surprised with that one bit. Brig, thanks for the 14-person raid. I assume you were playing more Rama. Always great to see you, man. Other MRZR, meanwhile, I've been shadowing right here. It's deployed. Blue 4, meanwhile, deployed in this little village. And I guess they're going to get on the ridges and try to find angles that OFCRA could use to move into these areas. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I feel like OFCRA could have just grabbed a driver and then driven back and picked up all of those guys. It would have taken longer, yeah, but I feel like that wasn't game-changing. Because, whatever. Just my 2 cents. I don't run the event, I merely commentate, but you know how I am about seeing things like that where if players make silly mistakes, usually they should pay for it, but that's just my opinion. So I wonder what we have right here, why those 3 guys have stalled. Maybe they're waiting for more people to push in with them. But for here, now we're just waiting to see what strategies these forces go with. We have a 4-man team coming up with that armored car. And then Twig King's group is now moving along the MRZ with the MRZR around here. I don't know if they're going to try to set up an ambush or something. Maybe they'll get lucky and run into the Weasel and take it out. But, I mean, this is all situational. And then we got the other MRZR staying in the back line as well. I don't know if they're working with each other to bunny hop up, but now it's just a wait and see. But it's clear that Blue 4 doesn't seem to be intent on defending the minefield, but they are going to do reconnaissance on that position. We do have a sniper set up here, for example, with a flash hider. So a little bit of harassment set to be early on. He does have a spotter with him. And now it's just a wait and see. Boat deployed, Depso staying back. I guess we have a vehicle coming up to pick him up. And then the boat's doing a wide drive around. And now it's just a wait and see. I think from here, OFCRA's plan, it's pretty obvious. It's literally just a bump, 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 and then they've got MRZRs probably scanning the final area from the rear. This is going to put a lot of Blue 4 out of position. It's going to potentially create a very large counterattack. The question is, can Blue 4 execute it in time? Are they keeping the Weasel on the back line? That's another call I don't necessarily agree with, because from there, they've got multiple kilometers. I think the Weasel's best call would have been putting it on a hilltop, but you would also need that hilltop defended from enemy AT, so you'd have to pair it with some reconnaissance, making a wide net, but even if it was put in a town with some people, and if they got a report of an AAVP, the Weasel could have been kept in the back line and then maneuvered into a position to take out the enemy asset. By putting it all the way in the back over here, I don't think it's amphibious, is it? Or maybe they're going to use it as an anti-boat vehicle. There's a lot of weird calls for this one. I don't see any amphibious capabilities on it. Yeah, it doesn't look like you can tread water, though. That's the issue. So we have the AAVPs coming in. The other one was over here. Has it been fully dismounted? Maybe back here? Maybe they're concealing the engine? I'm trying to... Where'd it go? Just got that one. Okay, so they dismounted it. That's why. Yeah, the Weasel is definitely not amphibious. I know, I was just checking, because I'm like, you know, I've seen some crazier stuff in Arma 3 PvP. I wouldn't put it past them to, like, make a weird scripted thing for it. Meanwhile, Sniper started shooting. And now they're taking return fire from the AAVP, which is right there. They're going to immediately displace. Yeah, so this is the level of scoping that they have. But as you can see with that, and then they've got this like basic rangefinder here, they can do a lot of damage with it. But again, it's just a matter of, is that asset going to be properly utilized? Because if it's not, and it gets sniped by long range AT, which is what happened last time, then it's kind of SOL. So from here, maybe... Here's what I'm thinking. Crazy idea. What if the SOCOM boat is coming to literally drop off forces right here, and the Weasel has just been masterfully placed here to stop that? That's the only thing I can think of, is that the Weasel is here to watch the coast. For OFCRA doing a back cap with the waterway, because that's the only way this could be utilized here. Zam, shut up. Looks like a few trees didn't get the memo. I think they were shooting out some windows right here. This has 21 people in it. If Koenig kills the boat, he'll be tied with Audrey Hotto for the official kill record. He's looking towards the water. Oh my god. He whiffed the shot. He didn't whiff the shot. He made the toe follow. Oh god. It survived. How did it survive? It's not going to survive a second shot. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. This is what I'm talking about, where OFCRA will come up with some of the craziest counters to the craziest tactics. It's like, what if they just try to backcap us? Okay, just put the boat back here. Man's gonna be credited officially with 17, but there were 21 people in that boat, and they're all going to die. So, let me do some quick math here. Anyway, I just saw a shit ton of people leave, because damn. Oh my god. Alright. So this was 135 players. What's 135 divided by 2? That is about 65, 70, right? So if 21 players just died, that means 1/3 of OPFOR is dead. $135, not $145. What should the SOCOM boat have done in that situation? If it took a random tow, it should have immediately ran for ground and dismounted everybody. That was one where they should have just immediately held the D key, since they were going from, what was this, north to south, kind of northwest, southeast here. They should have immediately turned right, beached the boat, and did a hard dismount, even if that was right in front of the tow launcher. Because if they kept driving, they'd be dead. Because at this range of a tow, it's kind of funny that there was a lag spike right there on the server, which gave the tow an even cleaner shot, but you are very limited on your maneuverability when it comes to a guided missile trying to hit you. So they should have just taken the L, dismounted, and then done that big walk around after that thing drove away, but yeah, no, by staying in the water, they just kept themselves as a target, and that's why 1/3 of them just got wiped. The fact that we now have a contender for the PvP record, though, scares me. And some of the kills are now mounting up again. So we got given another one. Wow, I can't believe I was giving him shit. Clearly, he was playing a level of chess that I clearly wasn't comprehending. Now Blue 4 has another 20 players over OPFOR. And we're going to see some of that manifest in a rear attack. Oh, no, this is a sniper group. Oh. Even with that, OPFOR is going to dismount this, disarm this entire minefield well ahead of schedule, and then they're going to do a pincer attack on this position, but that gives Blue 4 a lot of time to then counterattack it. But Blue 4 still has everything in one basket over here, and nothing on that objective. And I'm scrolling out, and I'm not seeing much. We do see an MRZR back here, and they've stolen some German vehicles. Because, of course, is that Twig Kane's group? 20 bucks, that's Twig Kane's group. Yep. So even with 1/3 of their infantry dead, OPFOR still have a chance. And the Weasel either has 4 or 8 missiles, so it's either halfway through its ammo with those 2 tow shots, or it has 6 rounds, which case I think it still hit both AAVPs, but it's very rare to see something like that. Normally you see it with a chopper getting shot down, but here it was much worse. Now we have OPFOR and a garrison right here. They're shooting at a Blue 4 group that's trying to cross this spot. Ibnomain's been crippled, so he's going to try to hide and probably do some quick medical in the smoke. No, he's going to roll. I'm going to be honest, in here, you just want to hide in the smoke billow and medic. That's really the only thing you can do, because rolling here, you're just kind of drawing fire. But if he's not getting shot anymore, that means he's behind some trees, and he should be safe to do medical, but he's panicking, that's why. I'm going to be honest, though, if OPFOR still win this one, it's going up in my book of, you know, the craziest comebacks I've seen in OFCRA, because we've in the past seen in OFCRA like an entire squad or 2 will get wiped sometimes, but then that faction will bounce back and still win, because ironically enough they have less people to coordinate, so they're just better optimized. I don't know how that works, but that's just the norm. So I wouldn't put OPFOR out of the contention just yet. What I am watching for is how high this man's kill count is going to climb. I've never looked at Koenig as a kill leader before, and now he's just gonna be one of the luckiest PvPers to get that high kill count. But then again,
Send
so
in
was
Goat
Adriano.
Team 6 now.
Hi Wavoo, look at that snow.
What, the one in the snow in game or the snow IRL? Because I don't have any snow IRL. It's just a few piles now, all melting away, but now it's getting warmer. Sly, thanks for the 43-month resub. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. So he's got a 320 launcher. He's trying to put it in the building. Manages to hit a bush. I'm trying to see if OPFOR is going to poke a guy out and potentially see him. He does, but he's unable to line a shot up. Oh! And then he bitch slaps Azanor for his ignorance. Oh my god. More GLs going into the building as Rizbo's getting on the high ground here. But he's only over... Ooh, that's a 240. And he's taking damage with an RCO on it. That's a very nice weapon. So Blue 4 extending their kill lead. I'm going to be honest, if Blue 4 can get... Well, actually, do Blue 4 have magnified optics as well? They do. So this is a magnified optic fight. I didn't even notice that. Arthea gets Demovar knocked out. PHK and Rigel moving up. Hearing some other gunshots from the side. That appears to be a long-range fight here. We also have the 50 cal driving up. So OPFOR is beginning the attack on the next AO, as this team appears to be stalling out against forces here. But I have a feeling the engineers have finished disarming all the mines. We see them now surfaced in a line. They only get the points if they get all of them, but I think they got all of them here. Nice. So that's going to be 2 points on the board for OPFOR despite their heavy casualties. Meanwhile, Rizbo is about to gun down Rigel. Yep. That is 240 Bravo superiority right there. Medium machine gun shenanigans. I don't know why he's pushing. I think he's switching spots just in case he pushed with someone else, but he should have double tapped the body. My man. Thank you. I know it wasn't stream sniping either because he did it instantly, and there would be at least a 5 to 10 second delay if he was watching my Twitch. So thank you, Rizbo. Appreciate it. Now Nubas is going to run in. Rizbo just needs to be patient. Oh, no. You got to wait for them to come in, and then you can get them. Nubas throws something else. That grenade, I don't think the shrapnel's going to go up 2 floors, so he's okay there. Mr. Cool now trying to run around, but Rizbo's got some support from the other side, so that's forcing Blue 4 to go in through this one angle that Rizbo has knocked down. Emil takes fire, though, from Nubas, but he fires back. We got some blood splatter there. Gotland, are you my long-lost twin? Huh. I didn't know I had those. Knowing my father, though, I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway. So OPFOR got the MRZR up to where the Weasel was, but the Weasel is now maneuvering up here. Nubas just got shot for some OPFOR coming around the flank here, and he's knocked out. Mr. Cool running out of room as his legs are getting hit. And Nubas gets double tapped because his head was exposed under the barn. Yeah, so Mr. Cool's in a tough spot because no matter where he goes, we have OPFOR giving some perfect enfilading fire on this position. Blue 4 have no positions of cover, so they're forced to completely pull back. Otherwise, they are just going to get shot. So this OPFOR group definitely getting some more Blue 4 kills than OPFOR kills. So OPFOR is getting a bit of their numbers back, but it's going to be a lot more of those actions before the numbers are balanced again. And with these big open fields and magnified optics, I think it's only a matter of time. However, we do see multiple Blue 4 members down. That is probably the work of either they fell off and killed themselves or the 50 cal. I think it's the former, though, knowing how player bases play and like to slip off of textures. Now I have a truck with a few dudes coming up, but Neves is right here. Oh, do you have a GL? He doesn't. He has a G36. We immediately see a sniper hit the driver. Wow, they got all 3 of them. The sniper took the driver out, and then Neeb sprayed them all down, and that's 3 of them KIA'd. We have another group back here, though. They're doing some dismounting. Have they realized that this happened? I feel like you should be mounting up in the driver's seat and driving away. Why are you doing... Guys? Guys? I think Blue 4, considering that successful, Z's running up. Why'd the truck stop? Hey guys, let's walk up to the truck. What NPC behavior is this? Blue 4's doing the right thing, by the way, ambushing and pulling away before QRF can come up. But that's because usually OFCRA wouldn't do something like this. They're just running up to the truck. What? What? Some of the stuff I see in this game, man. Meanwhile, the 3 Blue 4 survivors have started pulling back. OPFOR put a few people forward, but they're getting knocked. Got some double tap shots trying to land on Jonathan, but they're just a little high. Rizbo's coming out. He immediately takes fire, so he pulls back. But now you got Delta firing with the other one. He's just trying to spray down whatever Blue 4 he sees. Must have been the win. You'd think, right? He just bad fragged and knocked himself out. Okay. All right. Yep. It's okay. How's the 50 cal gunner doing? He's officially gotten 1 kill, but he's also gotten a few knockouts. And this is a lighter, thinner building with sheet metal, so this is can be more easily penetrated. M60E4 is nice to see, though. I'm waiting to see if we'll see the 50 cal shred that building. Then you got these guys up here. God, I really hope they find one of the recon groups and get another 6 kills. I really want to see, even if it's with a tow launcher, the Audrey Hotto record get beaten. But I will have to permanently remember this op for the tow. Unofficially 21 kills, officially 18. Audrey Hotto's was officially 21, unofficially 23. But yeah, from here, I don't think OPFOR has the manpower to bump up. Blue 4 have set up a massive amount of defenders up here. I don't think they realized how many people were in that boat. I don't see... even if OPFOR steals the Weasel, there isn't really much use they have for it other than maybe using the tows on some defensive buildings and getting maybe 1 or 2 free kills off of it, but there's no way they're going to get the crew out of the Weasel. Oh, no. Those 3 Blue 4 guys are still up. No way. Not the Weasel. Not the Weasel, please. He has such a high kill count. I want to see him break the damn record. He might get away. Yes, the barn! Oh God. Oh, there's all that open field. I'm surprised they're not trying to chase him down with the MRZR. That's a priority asset. There's no way in hell you're going to make that shot with the SMAW. You're not Iander, I'm sorry. Even Iander would struggle with a shot like this. Because he literally just guesses. But now they're gonna track that bitch down with the MRZR and the German vehicle. They have to, yep. I just have to hope to God the freaking tow either loses the pursuers or gets lucky. Looking at the rest of the AO here, those three were still able to pull back. OPFOR keeping in that village. OPFOR stuck in this position, though we do have snipers setting up behind them to potentially engage them from the north. Another MRZR group is moving around, I guess, trying to look for that Blue 4 group. OPFOR have set up an Overwatch vehicle, and I think they're harassing the forest, forces in the forest here. They're following the smoke. No. No. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. 18 official kills. 21 unofficial. The tow launcher that had it all. Oh. What a shame. The legend of Audrey Hotto continues. So you got these guys scoping out the forces over here. Oh, these are the same guys that they ambushed the other truck for, so maybe they'll get another ambush on them. Meanwhile, I'm going to check the 50 cal kill count. Callie's now on 2, and he's been focusing on the shed building, and these guys have all peeled out of it because that's a lightly armored vehicle. Oh, not vehicle, but you can see the damage the 50 cal did to the building. It literally tears it apart. Cooking off in the back, you have that tow vehicle, but now OPFOR are going to have forces ready to hit the final zone. So OPFOR, in theory, if they keep Blue 4 pinned down for the entire game, they could just go and capture the final area and bypass these two. I think those points are calculated at the 70-minute mark, so that would still give Blue 4 20 minutes to push into the final zone. So it's really going to be up to the AAVPs now, with no tow threat, to get as many kills as they can. Are they going to be able to? That is certainly anyone's guess. He's alive. Does this mean NASA's reverse Jesus? Because he's not... He's... What? I think NASA revived himself, and now he's just playing as an admin to deal with things, to be perfectly honest. To give that an explanation, but... Witchcraft. The win conditions are to either Blue 4 had to prevent OPFOR from interacting with this minefield, but OPFOR managed to disarm it, so that's worth 2 points. OPFOR has chosen one of these 2 positions to assault. Blue 4 won't know till I think the 50-minute mark. I think based off of OPFOR's actions, they're going for this one. But all the more reason OPFOR might have selected this one to fake Blue 4 out, make them go for this area. And then OPFOR is going to go for the final zone, which is worth, I think, 4 points. Having your side leader alive by the 45-minute mark also gives you a bonus 2 points. So it's 2 points, 3 points for either one, and then 4 points for the final. And then 2 points for side leader. So with all of that, I think Blue 4 could very well win the, still lose, excuse me. Alright, so we have another vehicle here. Wiki Courts just got knocked, I think, by the sniper back there. Another sniper round goes out. Z has no idea where he's getting shot from. But now we're going to potentially see a counterattack come in from these 3 Blue 4 on this side. Maybe they'll shoot out some windows and then try to snipe at whoever takes cover away from the snipers there. So really good short, small-scale ambush tactics being utilized from that group. Now you hear the GMGs going off. I completely forgot the AAVP did have the GMG. And now you see that building fully knocked out, and this Blue 4 group's folding to be deeper into the town. But you do see these recon groups kind of sticking outside of this final objective. Their goal is to definitely... It was to literally tie in with the SOCOM boat and then hold that final objective for the entire game. I'm calling that now. But the SOCOM boat was intercepted. Another kill by the 50 cal. That should be kill number 3. He's trying to open up with some GMGs, but they are just short. GMG, because it's a heavier round, gonna have trouble reaching in. They're mounting up in the AAVP to do a push. They got a full group mounted up in here, and then the other AAVP is coming around to join them on that assault. So Callie's only officially on 2, so I think those were the 2 bodies we saw. There and there were his kills. Mitchell moving back. OFCRA have turned around. They took fire from Blue Force, so now they're trying to figure out where those shots are coming from. He's on 4 kills now because he didn't get, I think, 2 of those ambush kills, which means he's picked off 2 more people there, and you can actually see the 2 bodies. Oh, those guys are suppressed. I mean, with how many punches OFCRA's taking right now, this could be the end of the U.S. invasion of Greenland. We even see some Blue Force swimming around. So, actions like these show me that Blue Force is still heavily entrenched, thinking OFCRA is going to make a push on that territory, when in reality they're trying to drive around. They could drive around and then assist with this group and kill those guys, and then join up with these guys and move around. No. Look at these back-end pushes. They're not going for that objective. They're doing exactly what I was saying. They're going to pull away and go for that final zone. Let me do a math check real quick. Okay. So the Minefield was worth 2 points. That's taken. Having your side leader alive by the 45-minute mark, 2 points. That's going to be done as well, because that gets calculated in 8 minutes as well. It gets calculated at the same time as the Minefield. So that's going to be 4 points to OFCRA, 2 points to Blue 4. This objective is worth 3 points. So that is going to then make it at... Oop, Templar gets shot. At the 70-minute mark, 5 points to Blue 4, 4 points to OFCRA. And then the final zone is worth 4 points. And if that gets calculated for Red 4, because they're trying to rally everything so they can set up a defensive position here, and they've already got guys in the forest to cover everything. And I think some people are wising up to that, because we already see these 3 moving back to maybe learn about that plan. But the final score at that point is going to be 8 points to OFCRA, 5 points to Blue 4. So even though OFCRA has lost so much manpower, third got shot down in the boat. With those 2 AAVPs as force multipliers, and knowing that the Weasel has been taken out, they can just turtle the final objective and hold it to the end of the game. And even though Blue 4 has a massive manpower advantage, they don't have any heavy assets to take care of those AAVPs, so if they're skillfully used, Blue 4 is not going to have any way to get their foot in the door on this AO. Because it's literally just a thin amount of buildings. OFCRA can pick the best ones to garrison, and then they can literally just station an AAVP over here and lock down anything that moves around, and then another AAVP on the other side, and just lock this entire side down, because it has a river behind it. So it only has, let's see, 60% of the land here needs to be locked down. That is a very good strategy by Depso. And again, I partially think that was the entire plan in the first place, because of the amount of people on that boat that were coming around. That would have guaranteed Depso a victory, by turning an offensive game into a defensive game with the assets to, you know, basically completely give them the advantage there. But now with a manpower loss, and now that the Danish forces are going to end up being on the attack, yeah. But I want to clarify, this isn't... I love seeing commander actions like this, and of course I have to nitpick, but this isn't a changing of plans. This was always the plan. If this was a changing of plans, I'd be praising it a lot more, because that shows that Depso is, you know, actively changing his plan based off of everything. But maybe he thought he had a shot on this objective, but now he's changing the plan because, like, the team that's meant to secure that position is no longer alive. But I always love seeing plans where the entire plan changes based off of something that happens in the mission. And it's very rare to see stuff like that. Uh-oh. We might see another monkey wrench in the plan here. Where's the AT guy? Because if no main still have the AT, he does not. I was about to say, if they intercept this AAVP, then Blue 4 would be in a very good position. But I'm curious here if these guys are going to be able to radio the fact that there's an AAVP on this rear side. Because what this would tell Blue 4 is they might just bypass and go for the final zone, and they need to potentially start moving forces back to at least try to get a picket group in there. But now you have a large dismounted force right here, and they're all looking. Yeah, they spotted them. Looks like some of the Marines here are having trouble finding angles to engage. AAVP is now coming up. That's a bit risky to do because you don't know if they have AT, but that's going to immediately make Blue 4 pull away. I'm doing all right, Shadow. Hope you're doing A-okay. Hydrate, yep. So these guys immediately running because they can't fight that AAVP. OFCRA has suffered more. They had a big chunk of their force, a third of their force die in this boat to a tow launcher. So I think these three guys are running into this AO because this is the eventual fallback point for all Blue 4, at least in Blue 4's plan. So this AAVP is setting up a defensive group out here, and then I think this one is also going to come out and either set up another defensive position on the outside or go into the AO itself. And you got the recon group locking down this forest on the side. So OFCRA, I think, is trying to make a wide defensive line to basically set up a blocking position for any forces that come in, which makes sense because Blue 4, most of the units in the AO do not have vehicles. So if they move out on foot, they'll just be easy to pick off. And then you still got some Blue 4 occasionally spraying at, I guess, what they perceive to be OFCRA forces in the region. But I'd give Blue 4 another 10 or so minutes of just looking around with their forces up here to realize it's too quiet, and that OFCRA is intentionally giving up the objective. So at the, I want to say, hour mark, we're probably going to see, not this hour mark, but the hour 8 mark because of the 8 minutes of save start. So an hour 8 on this is when we're going to probably start seeing Blue 4 rallying forces back down because that'll be the final 30 minutes of play, and Blue 4 needs to really then start focusing on what's down here. Special U-boat operation. Yeah, so the one tow launcher Blue 4 had decided to set up at the church here, and then OFCRA was trying to be cheeky by doing a back cap, and the one asset that could stop them in the entire AO just happened to be there. I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't bet on that. I would think the commander would be using the tow launcher to try to hunt down my AAVPs instead, because OFCRA has 2 of them. We've got one right here, and then the other one's been dismounted and is now working around on that side. So I give Depso the benefit of the doubt. I wouldn't expect them to waste the tow by putting it on Overwatch for a back cap defense when it can be utilized on other things, but who's Blue 4 command? Now we know. But I know Lolo and Depso face off a lot in OFCRA, so I wouldn't put it past Lolo to think of counters to Depso's crazy plans. You know? Learning how to command in PvP, first you learn the ropes, and then you have to start learning, okay, what do the other, people that usually command often do? Because you might have a general strategy, but if you find out you're fighting a certain person, you might change that strategy up. For example, if I ever fought Pierce in FNF, even though I haven't mentioned him in a hot second because he stopped playing Arma because he had IRL stuff to do, I would just give him the biggest open field I could and just set up on the tree line next to that open field, knowing full well that I'd be able to get him. Anyway, 45-minute marker has passed, so we've been officially halfway through the operation. So all the AT mines got cleared for East, so OFCRA on 2 points. Both side leaders survived, so that's another 2 points per side. OFCRA on 4 points, Blue 4 on 2. Next cash-in is going to be in 15 minutes for these 2 zones. In 5 minutes, we're going to know which zone OFCRA set. I'm willing to bet OFCRA would have set this zone, and this was all a fake out. but I could be wrong. But this is the zone that's furthest away from this objective, so that might... I think that's going to then cause this Blue 4 force to go down to the final zone, and then run into this ambush that Op 4 is setting up. And then Blue 4 has 20 minutes to get all their forces into the final zone. I mean, yeah. I'm seeing where Devso really set up this plan and relying on timers for just preventing Blue 4 from harassing his forces on the rear like that. Smart. Pierce the literal runner? Yeah, right. I was so heartbroken to hear he stepped down from playing Arma 3. I also heard rumors that his unit had a little coup on him, but I was then told by him that those were unsupported? Unsubstantiated? Something like that. But this was like 6 or 9 months ago, you know? Oh yeah, Blue 4 still have some boats back here, little dinghies, but they used a few of them to get their forces. Oh, no, you're right. Blue 4 do have some boats, and we're going to see one go down. I completely forgot about those, but that's why, again, you just have an AAVP right here, and then it can look on the coast and kill any boat that comes up, so... At least that was part of my strategy. Maybe, though, with how we're seeing these units divide, Op 4 doesn't know about the Blue 4 boats that can come in, and that would be so ironic that the Blue 4 boats use the same route that Op 4 wanted to use for the SOCOM boat, but that's how Blue 4 beats them. So, Arma 4 comes out in 2027. And I would suspect that as that game is coming out, it's going to release as a buggy mess, because every Bohemia game for the Arma series since Arma 3 has been released to a buggy mess. And that's not a diss on Bohemia. I think most games these days release to a buggy mess. Some much more than others. But for, you know, a game with open world, you know, sandbox style, it's going to be a buggy mess. That's just how most games like that are. So it's going to probably be, I want to say, there's two tracks. There's rumors that Arma 4 might be on a completely different engine. If that is the case, that means modders are going to have to start from scratch, because Reforger, I originally thought the plan for that was to give modders a head start, because then they would just port everything on the Infusion engine to Arma 4. Which means the mods are going to be like day one ready to go. Maybe not day one, but I'd say week one, because there'll be some slight updates to do for all that stuff. So... if Arma 4 is on the Infusion engine, then I'll probably start doing... I'll definitely start doing Arma 4 content immediately, but I'll start getting heavy into Arma 4 when the mods get heavy into Arma 4, which will probably be, like, within 3 to 6 months. If it's on a brand new engine, then we are literally just on a wait and see until major mod groups transfer over to that game, you know? And then we'll just play it by ear. So it's gonna happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. But for the next 2 years, yes, I'm gonna be still heavily doing stuff in Arma 3. And even after Arma 4 comes out, I'm still gonna fire up Arma 3 at least once or twice a week and continue my campaigns. But I guess right now I need to think about expanding into other games and doing other stuff, but we'll get there when we get there. That's why I like DayZ, but I've been neglecting that. Oh, come on, get the hit, get the hit. Yes, he's knocked to his feet. Finish him. Yes. All right, so 2 Blue 4 caught in the open, immediately gunned down by some of the Op 4 players here. Blue 4 now turning some forces around to try and retaliate as those 2 Blue 4 are taken out. And then that 3-man Blue 4 team is now down to 2. I really hope we're not seeing a red on red, because that is the one thing Op 4 cannot afford right there now, because they're already down a third of their manpower. I would laugh my at if no man gets an ambush on Ventlej. USMC's intentions have been revealed. Yep, right there. So that is the intent of pulling all the forces they can, but I think Blue 4 is starting to realize that Op 4 has no intention of hitting that objective. We already see forces now starting to rally down. So that's going to be up to Twig King's recon group to stop these forces from pushing through the forested areas. But I think they're going to instead be held on these guys here. So Op 4 has way too many defenses on the right side. We need to start seeing some internal groups as well as maybe some reinforcement of that forested area. But another Op 4 member gets taken out. And he traded with the blue 4 members. Now Mr. Cool's trying to move up, but he's now getting shot from various directions here. But his team is doing a great job of stalling OFCRA's troop deployment here. Yeah, we'll see, Charlotte. There's a lot I need to still do. But the good news is, by the end of March, I should be completely caught up. Kieran looks at that grenade. Mr. Cool tries to spray him off, but the grenade scares Kieran off. Defraud, Bark, and Gregory might come around the flank here. Mr. Cool not watching his side, though. He's getting a little target fixated. He takes shots to the rear, so he pulls back. No, I didn't Spartans. That sounds dope. 50 cal fires some shots at Mr. Cool. Looking at these other blue 4 groups moving in, looks like there might be some OP4 noticing, but I don't see any flashing symbolism. And you just have those little isolated groups out there. Looks like a truck's been pulled back, though, to potentially pick those guys up. Depso might come and grab them. And then we have... Okay, no, NASA is a debug unit at the moment. Mr. Cool, meanwhile, pushes up, and Gregory gets the kill on him. Oh, yeah, the other AAVP's on this spot. All right, so from here, we need to see the AAVPs move into town. OP4 make a tighter defensive perimeter. I think they're worried Blue 4 is going to move through the forested area now, but I think that's a bit of a mistake by Depso because Blue 4 would be mostly on the objectives. Though, again, maybe he knows Ivno, or excuse me, Lolo, and Lolo's going to now counter by sending forces through the forested area, so anything's possible. How many people are alive on each side? I can't give you exact numbers, but I can say... Blue 4 still has a very significant numbers advantage. Op 4 are probably down to at least 30 to 35. Blue 4 would still be around 45 to 50. Based off of the casualties I've seen. You have Reforger shenanigans making minefields and Jeeps drive over him? Yeah. Arma's Arma. That will never change. So what worries me right now is Op 4 have way too few people right here, and Blue 4 is going to have an opportunity to get, you know, their forces right here staged, and then they'll have to do like a crazy charge. That would be stopped by an AAVP, but it's not close enough to stop something like that. These guys could get prepped on a boat and maneuver around, but I see why Twig King's group was assigned to cover here, and they're going to have a very nice ambush on these guys running back. Oh, he's going to GL him. He needs to get maybe 1 or 2 people up here to assist them, though. Oh, he's going to do it now. It's going to be short. Now they scatter. Another GL, once again short, knocks Phobos to his feet. And they have no idea where they're being engaged from. Then that one was Lon. Oh. They should have waited till they were a bit closer. Yes, that meant they could immediately run into this compound, but that would have at least resulted in more than 1 or 2 kills. And plus, this now opens them up to be assaulted by the rear. Yes, they have a rear security member here, Camred, with the MP7. I mean, a 40-round magazine for all those people, it's 5.7, might work, but these guys are going to have a really tough time, but at least they're stalling the entire movement here, but there's still 35 minutes on the map. That's not going to stall them for the entire game. The 203 you can only range up to 250 meters as well, and you got to take your scope off to use it. I mean, no, we got to give him credit. He's at least making some of those shots, but I'm really curious to see how Camrad's going to hold this one. He definitely saw people, so he's getting behind a tree, but he needs to tell his guys, hey, we're fucked. There's a massive wedge right here. Oh, open up with grenades, Camrad. Come on, you know better. Yeah, he got spotted, and he's dead. Settlers now pulling away. These guys need to break down and pull back. They can't fight that force. They would be much better off set up in a garrison, just killing everybody that runs in the open. OFCRA needs every man they can get for this angle here. And they have the manpower. They just need to reorganize them and reset where the vehicles are. Wojtek is uncon over here. I guess he was forgotten about. That's unfortunate. But with both of those AAVPs as force multipliers... Oh, they could do so much. They just need... And Depso is driving up to the AO so he can directly command people. OFCRA has a chance here. And again, I said earlier, even with that 20-person loss, you know, the 33% of OFCRA's forces, they still have a massive chance to make this work. It looks like they tried to go back for their vehicles, but the vehicles were immediately ambushed, so they're going to have to hoof it. They're caught in a little bit of a valley here. Settler, I think his only chance is potentially getting the vehicle and drive off. Is any Blue 4 member going to counter with AT? We see some GLs going, but that is an up-armored vehicle. Ooh, Roofy's got it out. Can he find the angle? He does. Twig tried to pull back to assist the vehicle, but he can't do anything against the Moz. Hey, that is also draining the AT from Blue 4 to not be used against the AVPs, so... Silver lining, right? But yeah, against that massive of a force, they can't do anything. Twig, I mean, commendable, he's trying to go back to save his guys, but there's nothing he can do. What scares me is these guys are staging up here as if they don't own this AO. That's what scares me the most. They're all guns up. I just really don't want to see a red-on-red instance here. Other AAVP came up. Yes, it's going on the position we want to see them on. Knocking over some of the back walls, good. And then we just need to see some E-tool trenches made, if possible. Because there's not a lot of positions on that church they can use other than the little tower, but... only gives them a little bit of room to work with. The building's over here, though. Especially that two-story one would be good. But yeah, keep that vehicle on reserve. When you see Blue 4 do a smoke push, just counter with the GMG. We just need to make sure there isn't a red-on-red instance, but Twig is the squad leader. He'd be able to call up to say, hey, we're running back. We got screwed. But yeah, Blue 4 starting to push out another large portion of their units, realizing that this is all just to bait them out. And then we've got some other OPFOR, I think... OPFOR just pushed up to this position with their final 3 and got taken out. Sniper got a few of them, but that's going to keep them pinned, but they do have a vehicle now to leave with. And Blue 4 now, they have access to a vehicle, so we might see some of them load up in that MRZR and try to charge in. Maybe they'll be able to outmaneuver the AAVP, because the one thing that you want in these open fields is mobility. But now you're starting to see, yep, side leaders coming in. They still have a garrison on this little hilltop. I think... I can see why they would want this, but again, I feel like with the amount of manpower they have, just keep the AAVP back here and occasionally poke it up, GMG the hilltop, and pull it back before it can take AT fire. I don't see them needing to put that much infantry in the AO. Instead, they can just hold the final area here because it's open. They have grenade machine guns. They have 50 cals. They can hold this. And if Blue 4 come up and like garrison this building, then they can just GMG it and collapse it. And here's some red-on-red going on. Failed by East, completed by West. Yep, so that is now 3 points on the board for Blue 4. So the score is 5 to Blue 4, 4 to OPFOR. Final objective is 4 points for this final zone, and OPFOR has done a great job of pushing for it. I'd imagine Twig is probably yelling at people on his LR right now to say, hey, stop it. And I'm waiting to see how this vehicle is going to be utilized, if it's going to ferry people in a suicide run, or if they're going to drive back and pick more of their guys up, because if Blue 4 just trickles in over the next 20 minutes, well, no, 30 minutes, because it would be a 90-minute round. I thought it was at the 70-minute mark things were cashed in, not the 60, but oh well. Regardless, Blue 4 have 30 minutes to make this work. And I was saying earlier it was 20 because it was stated that this would be cashed in at the 70-minute mark, not the 60, so that's weird, but regardless. With 30 minutes, I think Blue 4 has enough to push everything in, but I think they need to grab all the vehicles they can and be really quick to rally stuff. Not gonna lie, what would also help is Blue 4 maximizing their numbers advantage, putting some units on the south to pull forces away from the other side, just to plink at them would be another really good call. And they have the time to set it up. The question is, how can Lolo, over the next 30 minutes, organize his guys and make an assault? We do have some of them getting in the boat, at least 4. The rest are hoofing it. Louis, I think, is going for the other RHIB. I'm surprised we didn't see these guys mount up in the RHIBs and just come around and maybe try to do a dismount over here and then coordinate with the vehicle to pick them up. Then again, that begs the question, why don't they just pick them up already? But I feel like there's a bit of miscoordination right now with everything. What also scares me is Twig. He doesn't feel comfortable going up to his guys because he was getting shot at. So how is he going to... He's got a massive force behind him. That is amazing. That is actually amazing. I think they were just told to cease fire. Barrows just shot at them and is now friendly wiggling. Like, what? Nope, there's more shooting.
I swear to God, OFCRA.
You already lost a third of your forces to some crazy countering, and now, there's another one dead. I understand why Twig King's group is now hesitant to pull back, but they're going to lose 3 of them here. This group is now under a friendly... Part of me would say, okay, you have the AAVP, drive the AAVP out to show that you're friendly, but I wouldn't put it past OFCRA to freak out and go, oh, they've captured our AAVP, and then they blow it up. Because they're still ranging GLs up to that position. Depso's over here, too. So maybe he ordered everyone to pull back, but these guys are still up there for some weird reason, so he's just ordered them to engage them or something. I don't know. They do have radios. They're just not using them. 2 kills for Pi, 3 for Twig, but that was for some of the earlier ambushing, but they've gotten 2 knockouts. Three knockouts now. And a kill. I'm gonna be seriously impressed if these guys somehow hold off this massive force. And they're out of room to maneuver on the back. Twig's desperately trying to find a way to route his guys back. Then all this shooting is definitely making people look up there. Pi now pulling away. I mean, this is some really good attrition if OFCRA had some room to maneuver back. But again, I wouldn't blame them if they were scared about a potential friendly fire incident. Twig's now trying to push up. He's got his GL out. Loads an HE round. Speaking on his radio. He gets target fixated, but he's exposed on the right. Ah, yep. And that exposure got him killed by an M60 E4. He got a little too aggressive there. Both coming around. Crazy gets killed by Pupper. Pi, the only one able to pull back here. Literally holding security for any guys that are coming around. There's been barely any blue on blue so far. It's been red on red, and a lot of kills there too. Oh, Pi. Just whiffs a shot up there for fun. He's also making sure Blue 4 can't capture the launcher. I don't know if he dropped sniper magazines from when he had something like that previously, but that's out. Now you got Blue 4 starting to set up to attack from various different angles here, and it's all about that final garrison. Can it hold? Looks like OFCRA set up the red on red issue here, though they're still all guns up in that direction, so maybe not. But yeah, that's taken almost all their security away. I would laugh my ass off if Pi came out and got gunned down by friendlies as he was just trying to pull away here. But I think he knows that, so he's sticking in. He's trying to get Pupper now. Nope, it's Wise. Okay, Pupper folded to his friends. Wise trying to wise up here. Find Pi. Pi's making a run for it. They have to know he's friendly by now. We even see an OPFOR relief team coming up. 50 cal. Yeah, we got a Blue 4 guy right there where he's scoped in on. I'm surprised the vehicle's not coming up and assisting at the moment. Like, actually. Guys, you have to say in Arma or in Minecraft at the end of sentences like that, okay? Otherwise, the feds will get you. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know anymore with the current administration. Oh, just say in Minecraft to be safe. So we've got some OPFOR now firing into that, into the tree line to stall them. Y is approaching. Again, really surprised we don't see the AAVP coming up just to have the gun turret up to plink at anything that comes in. I guess they're holding in reserve until Blue 4 actually commits to the push, which, I'm not gonna lie, that's also a good call. Don't reveal that you have the AAVPs here, but at the same time, if you're gonna keep it in reserve, put it back here and then drive it up. Here, it feels like you are giving Blue 4 the ability to see this vehicle coming. Yeah, so just suppressing. But you got to give OPFOR credit here. They are pushing people up to try to get Pi out. You did say in an op? Okay, gotcha. Right, in Minecraft. Got it. That's stalling Blue 4 here. T taking some shots that land really close to him. Even the 50 cal is now starting to fire out. I don't think it should be hosing the tree lines, though. I think it should now be reserved for taking really precise and accurate shots on players themselves. What? Hold on. Something seems a little wrong here. 20 minutes left. Hey, viewers, can you spot the issue that I'm seeing with this one? Remember, kids, Keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle while it's moving at all times. Otherwise, you might fall out. The boat's turning around to pick him up. Oh, man. This game always surprises me. I think Montes already had 2 kills. Kelly had 1. But now these guys are countering this blue 4 maneuver here. Blue 4 needs to open up another angle of attack. I'm worried about the boats. They're going to get instantly hosed down by the 50 cal. You'd have to have these guys come in with an attack wave. But I think OFCRA have just perfectly set up their forces everywhere they need to. Which was, again, small group on the hill to counter against the wooded push, but then keep all your forces in here. It's left their southeastern flank exposed, but Blue 4 doesn't have a way to capitalize on it. I wouldn't GMG the waterline. The rounds move too slow, and at greater ranges, they're less accurate. Just pepper it with a 50 cal, and you can also just blow up the boat with 50 cal. Put some holes in it. You're good. The question is anyone watching the water? Because this is really easy to spot. No one's watching lefts. And the gunner is target fixated. Oh my god. Audrey-Sep, you saw it, right? No. Everyone's target fixated. Oh no. You guys had one job. I can't believe this. Now they're noticing. Oh, wait, wait. He's not leading the shots. Please tell me he's not reloading he's reloading the 50 cal right now. The boat has a chance. He can't hit him. Oh, he hit him. Reverse caster curse. Driver just got shot. And destroyed. The fact that that almost made it kind of scares me. But yeah, now you got Blue 4 turning around, but since there's no action up here other than one angle, they have the room to just send people on the other side. Now this is simple. Just put like 1 or 2 guys on the coastline and shoot them as they come up. I agree, like that was a silly strategy. They shouldn't have done that in the first place. They should have dismounted the forces back here and then maneuvered with there. Or they could have dismounted them on the opposite side, had a vehicle, because I saw them have some trucks right here, have a vehicle come around, pick them up, and then, you know, start an assault from that south area where OFCRA had that gap. So OFCRA might have a perfect turtle now on this final objective. 16 minutes left. And Blue 4 doesn't seem to have any AT up here to counter this. We have 1 AT gunner, but does he have AT? He does. Can he find an angle, though, to use it? Oh, Pie's pissed. Pie has decided to counterattack, and he is now on 4 kills. AT! Wow. I think that was Horno. That sounded like a Maz shot, and he just fired again. Yeah, it was the Maz. And he gets a second hit on the vehicle. I think Audrey-Sep got in the way of it, though. Well, we'll know if this cooks off in a second. Yeah, Audrey-Sep, I think, just took a Maz round to the face. He saved the AAVP! I think the turret's screwed anyway, though. But, all right. So that relieves the left flank a little bit. can we see that AT gunner? I don't see him anymore. Did he... Is it you? Yeah, okay, they maneuvered him up. They're trying to find an angle to hit that AAVP. But even then, this is a massive open area, so I'm not sure if Blue 4 will have the means to push stuff up here. And you got Depso just coast watching as the commander. And there was another AT shot, and that finishes that vehicle off. Pi ran. But he managed to turn around and get a kill before he ran, so nice. Now, here's my question. I think the AAVP would now be better off pushed to the back and set up as another support asset, but, I mean, it's frontlining in some trees and hasn't been blown up yet, so they're just going to think, oh, okay, this is a good strategy then, because they're not going to push me without AT. But I'm really hoping Hoffman here makes him rethink that strategy. Hey, man, if he got hit in the arm and his arm got blown off, just tourniquet the arm and then pack him. Easy. Oh, here we go. It's a hit, I think. Well, if he hit it, he doesn't really care. Oh, Nemesis died. It's Callie in there with no plus, so I'm assuming... No, Callie might be solo crewing it instead. Yeah, so I thought maybe if there was a driver in there, he's dead, but no, Callie's just soloing it. Ah, yes, Nap found land, and the land had bullets with his name on them. Very unfortunate. There is only one more coastal assault her. It's Sergeant Ellis, who's now trying to swim up the coast, as Depso is personally punishing anyone that comes up here, but I think he is watching him. Now Blue 4 starting to move up the coast, but Op4 are trying to repel any attacks. They've dug little foxholes to give themselves some cover. And some have just decided, we don't need cover, I just need to shoot people. I just heard more AT fire. I didn't see where it landed, though. I think it was from Blue 4, though, because it sounded like an AT-4. And I haven't seen any on the Marines kits. Yeah, so these guys are down to 4, and they're with another group of only a handful, and then they got some more Blue 4 coming up. Hold on. Depso's hunting. Oh, shut up, JY. Scrolling out, I mean, I think Blue 4 have lost their number advantage. I don't know how. But... No, there were 2 squads that just came out by the boats. I think Op4 might have won this one, because Blue 4 doesn't really have... Where they have their strongest force is in a massive killing zone. And where they have their smaller force is being stopped by a small Op4 force, and then where they tried boats is where Depso has decided he's taking him. No way. This is some typical Depso shit. Gregory. No way! No way did Alice just wake up and gun Depso down! Oh no! There goes Alice! Oh! Oh my god. Now is anyone gonna run up and try to medic Depso, or is Depso just... Yeah. why you don't play with your food. Wise could get into a really good grenade position here. If he can break this OPFOR line, he has an opening for the rest of Blue 4 to come up. But he has to use grenades to open up. I'm worried if he shoots, he's going to give himself away. Maybe a one-tap headshot, but again, yes! I'm just not sure if you're close enough for grenades to work. That's the issue, you weren't close enough. It didn't make him freak out, though. They're pulling back. He might have bought an opening for the rest of Blue 4 to come up with that grenade alone. And then you got the AAVP using its GMG to further stall this group. You got Lolo coming in, though. He has no AT, but maybe he'll be able to pick off some of the infantry staying back here. Ooh, Wise now getting some knockouts. You got Audrey Sepp. Grenade rolls out as Wise gets up. He takes a little bit of damage from that. Now they know he's up here, though. GL round gets stuck in a bush. Monta's going on the offensive here. He's going to catch Wise. Oh, Wise ducks the headshot, but 2 shots later, the headshot comes anyway. Monta's trying to get the execution, just can't seem to find the angle. Now looking up here, you got Lolo trying to get on the rear of these remaining OPFOR players, but after that he's got 8 minutes. And he doesn't have any vehicles that can potentially do a charge. You got these guys here, but yeah, with no vehicles to charge in, OPFOR might just hold. Depso is still uncon back there, but yeah, he's probably not gonna wake up. All right, OPFOR now are taking that corner back, and they're gonna further stall what remains of Blue 4 pushing up on this angle. Lolo finds Tuco and delivers a single shot headshot and immediately goes prone to avoid. It's only Barros now and the AAVP. There goes Barros. He was on his radio asking where Tuco was. And immediately Lolo gets GMG by Cali. He's on 5 kills now. Yeah, I mean, if you're listening to the radio and all of a sudden you hear someone's voice cut off as they're calling for somebody, that's probably a good indication that something's there. But we got Blue 4 now checking some of the OPFOR bodies for any AT, and they're not going to find any. And that's just going to further stall this assault because they have nothing to take this vehicle out with. All right, so both commanders are now dead. But at this point, I mean, it's only 5 minutes, 6.5 minutes remaining. I don't think Blue 4 has the room to push past this vehicle, or the capacity to open up a second assault. So this one's going to stall out. OPFOR's going to have a majority of people in the AO. It's GG. And we've witnessed one of the more prevalent comebacks in OFCRA history. Despite being down to 2/3 of their manpower, they stuck to the objectives, forced Blue 4 into really bad positions, and were able to come out on top. So I think this campaign is going to continue, although it is still going to be another Pyrrhic victory. Though I will say, in terms of numbers, I think OPFOR definitely have more survivors compared to the other one. Oh shit, Dan Swede woke back up, and Tuco also woke back up. So this attack is not over yet, or that defensive line hasn't crumbled yet. And Blue 4 are just down to 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 people on this line. Nothing else to come in from the flank. You still have these guys up here. And then Blue 4 are down to, what, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people on that left side. I think it's over. Blue 4 doesn't have the time to even maneuver people up to start sweeping the zone. Yeah, OPFOR suffered a third of their forces as casualties. They friendly fired and killed a few of their own guys in the instance that was right here between the defensive position and that hill. And even on top of all of that, they still win. Again, I don't think Blue 4 even has the time. They've got desperate already, and they pushed with a massive amount of forces here on boat and all that other stuff, and that cost them. Cali finally gets hit with some AT, but the turret is... Oh, is it? Nope, it can still move up. Swede turned around and got Fetty. All right, Nuzzy here with the M60 E4. He's the greatest chance for Blue 4 at this point. To my defense, I never ordered the boat rush. What did you order the boat to do? I'm curious, because that was a third of your 4 steps, so I'm curious about your insight. I still think you're going to win this one. So a great comeback with tactics nonetheless, but I'm curious to know what that boat was supposed to do then. Because it got engaged and eliminated right here, but it was engaged starting here when the weasel from that church location noticed it. Three minutes remaining, no Blue 4 in range to get into the purple zone. Not that it would make a difference, it's over. If I have a mod, pay it out to OP4, because the final score is going to be 8-5. They were supposed to wait for a while until the 2 small teams, and yep. Yeah, that's what I figured, because the 2 small teams were all around that zone, so they just rushed in. Montes gets knocked out, knocking the tree out. That gives Nuzzy the room to move up. Players following orders? No. Nuzzy with another kill. Double taps Montes. He's going to be on 3 now, I believe. Yep. He's literally just tapping the machine gun. He's on 5. He's on 6. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold the phone, guys. A single man with an M60 just appeared. But Burger, thanks for the raid, buddy. OP4, I don't think they have the grenades to counter this. Holy shit. Nuzzy, I think, just got another one. He's on 7. He just went from 1 to 7 in a minute. He runs left to avoid that. He's got 1 minute and 15 seconds. There's no way in hell. But I want to see how many kills he can rack up in this amount of time. 1 to 7. Is Settler still alive? I don't know. He's not on OP4. He's crawling in where the tree's covering him. He's going to get another kill with Ronid. That's 8. Nuzzy coming around. He might spot Duidson. Get some double taps. Duidson gets exposed. Hold on. Jonathan running around. Oh, he can't get away in time. I think that's 9 for Nuzzy in total. 1 to 9. 8 kills. Why didn't they just put him in the AO and let him do that? One-man army. But yeah, the M60 E4... compared to the M240 Bravo, the M60 E4, because of that forward grip pod in place of a bipod, the 240 does better when it's deployed on a fixed position and bipoded with the thing, but the grip pod allows for the M60 E4, that heavier round of, what is it, 7.62 by 51? You get a lot more control with it. So he's literally able to just tap his mouse button and put really accurate shots down with not a lot of recoil compared to the M240. Fun fact. That's for Arma 3. I don't know how it works in the real world, but that's how it's more controlled. But anyway, OP4 victory, 8-5. That was a great game. 308 is at 762 by 51. I'm not saying it's 762 by 54, which is the Russian rimless round for PKPs, PKMs, and SVDs. But yeah, anyway, logic. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. We'll be back in, I think, 2.5 hours? Yeah, for POG, Phase 8. And then the following week for POG, we'll bring back the pay for pain elements. But otherwise, cheers, guys, and have a good one.